Chapter 19. You Belong to Me. The shadow vanished as fast as it had appeared. Here, you can have your stupid coat back, Delia said, struggling to wriggle out of it, but it still constricted her body like a tourniquet. It made no sense. If the devil woman wanted it back, then why was the coat still sticking to her? She scanned the dark factory for another glimpse. I don't even want it anymore. Just get the puppies back. They don't belong to you, as my coat does not belong to you, the voice screeched from the shadows. Take it off now. But no matter how hard Delia tried, the coat wouldn't release her. She started to feel desperate. I'm trying, but it won't come off. I swear. Stupid girl, the voice cackled. Then I shall take my coat off your plastic stiff body myself. Suddenly, the machines grew louder and began moving faster. They churned and whirred, filling the factory with awful industrial noise. No, please, Delia yelled to be heard over the machines. You have to let the puppies go. I don't even want the stupid, ugly coat. Everything stopped. The machines, the noise, everything. Delia's heart caught. She looked at Grant, his breath coming shallow, making clouds in the cold air. What is happening? Delia whimpered. Then she felt a coldness slip across her shoulders, followed by an even colder breath in her ear. How dare you call my coat ugly? The voice whispered. It was right next to her. You're such a vain little girl. No, so vain you had to steal my couture, and now you've fallen right into my little trap. The machines clanged to life again. Grant grabbed Delia's hand. Run! Delia tried. She tried to keep up as Grant dragged her forward, feeling the voice, the ghost, whatever it was, behind her the entire time. The cackling grew louder and closer and louder. But then, yip, yip, yip. Radar was still barking for them. Delia and Grant burst into another room and staggered to a halt. The puppies! Radar saw them and scrambled to the edge of the pen where the puppies were being kept. Jumping manically, his distinctive bark rang out. Yip, yip, yip. Yes, let's get them and get out of here, Grant cried. They ran toward the pen, but Grant tripped over a wire and fell, twisting his ankle. He tried to stand, but his leg buckled. He couldn't run. Delia looked around in desperation. Cruella was coming for them. Leave me, Grant gasped from the floor. Just save the puppies. No way. I won't leave you, Delia said, helping him up despite her stiff body. We're friends, remember? We don't leave each other at the first sign of trouble. Suddenly, the doors burst open and Cruella's shadow loomed. Stay away from them. Those mongrels are mine. The shadow stretched across the room, filling the cavernous space. Little Radar and the puppies snarled and barked. I will have the puppies, and I will have my coat, the voice screeched. But Delia had a plan. She motioned Grant toward the pen, then turned to confront the devil woman. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw Grant crawling toward the puppies in their pen. What do you want with my puppies? Delia rasped at Corella's ghost. She could feel her body turning more plastic, but she didn't care anymore. She only cared about one thing. She had to save Radar and the other puppies, even if it was the last thing she did. The room filled with an evil cackle. Get rid of them. Get rid of all of them, Cruella said. And I will, unless you hand over my coat. Look, I already told you, Delia said, still struggling with the coat. Her body felt stiffer and more plastic than ever. I don't want it anymore. I don't care how fashionable or popular it made me. I just want to be me again, like the real me. Your fashion line is cursed. It's too late for you, darling, the voice drawled. You and your puppies all belong to me. Delia gulped. What do you mean I belong to you? But before the voice could answer, the puppies swarmed Delia's ankles. Grant had released them from their pen while Delia was distracting Cruella. They stampeded through the factory, heading for the exit. No! Suddenly, the shadow coalesced again into the size of a woman and lunged for Grant. "They're my puppies! You can't have them!" Pandemonium broke out. The puppies leaped at the front doors, barking and growling. Grant hobbled after them on his twisted ankle, pushing the doors open to release them from the factory. His eyes flashed back to Delia, who could feel herself transforming even more quickly now. Her body stiffened completely. She couldn't walk anymore. She could barely move. "Just promise you'll save them," she croaked. "It's too late for me. I know it's too late. I made too many mistakes. Just save them." She tried to turn toward him, but it was no use. Her joints locked into place, stiffening as they turned fully plastic. Grant took one last look at her, clearly torn about what to do. But then Radar bit at his ankles, trying to hurt him outside. "I'll get help," Grant shouted. "I'll come back for you." Then he turned to lead the puppies to safety. But Delia knew it was too late for her. The devil woman was right. Delia belonged to her now. The last thing she remembered seeing before her eyes froze completely into place was the shadow towering over her, fingers curled overhead like claws. "You're going to pay for this."